Radhe Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Continuing to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 3. Does anyone remember what we read yesterday?
Hare Krishna. We finished the ninth canto, second chapter, and we were reading the lineage of Vivasvat Manu. And then the third chapter that we started, it was about the Sharyati, the second son of Manu, and how he was very perfect at performing yagyas and Vedas. Like he knew Vedas and how he was very good at performing yagyas, and how he had a daughter named Sukanyā, and they went to the forest to see Cyavana Muni. And when they reached there, there was a hill, and the daughter saw that the two glowing things came out of it, and she pierced them, and the blood coming out of it. And it was supposed, and it's written there that it's supposed to happen by the God's will, destiny. And then suddenly all the soldiers got constipation and they stopped urine. And then the king said that maybe we have offended Chavan Muni, or we have done something wrong. Like, why all this is happening. Then the little girl told her father that she pierced the two glowing worms. And then King Sharyati was scared because the Chaman Muni himself was sitting inside the hill. And then the king gave, and then he said that my daughter did it. And then Chavan Muni said that is she married? And then the king said, then king understood the intention, and then he offered the daughter in marriage to Chavan Muni, and then they got married and he left. And then we saw that how she was a very chaste and a nice wife, how she was serving, though Chavan Muni was really old in age, and she was really a nice chaste wife, and she served Chavan Muni according to his mood, like how the things should have been. And then Prabhupada says that to have a good marriage, if wife can submit to husband, life will be good. And she was a faithful and a chaste wife, and she knew how to conquer the heart of uh, her husband Chavan Muni. So yeah, that's until there, that's we read. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Although his nature is written as irritable, but she tolerated everything and served him. Yes, thank you. Is this font okay, or need to make it bigger, or
No, it's
you can?
perfect. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so the font is good. All right. So then reading today's verse, let me just yeah. Kasyachit tva atha kalasya
Kasyachit tavat kalasya
nast yav ashrama
nastaya ashrama gatayo
tau pujayitva provacha
tau pujitayitva provacha
vayo me datam ishvaro.
vayome ta ishvaro.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Thereafter, some time having passed, the Ashwini Kumar brothers, the heavenly physicians, happened to come to Cyavana Muni's ashram. After offering them respectful obeisances, Cyavana Muni requested them to give him youthful life, for they were able to do so. The heavenly physicians, like the Ashwini Kumaras, could give youthful life even to one who was advanced in age. Indeed, great yogis with their mystic powers can even bring a dead body back to life if the structure of the body is in order. We have already discussed this in connection with Bali Maharaj's soldiers and their treatment by Shukracharya. Right? We remember, we read that, how Shukracharya was bringing back the demons to life as long as the body was intact. So modern medical science has not yet discovered how to bring a dead body back to life or bring youthful energy to an old body. But from these verses, we can understand that such treatment is possible if one is able to take knowledge from the Vedic information. The Ashwini Kumaras were expert in Ayurveda, as was Dhanvantari. So in the Vedas, it seems there is this knowledge how to make a old man renewed with energy of a young man, make him young again. So Ashwini Kumaras knew that, they know how to do it. In every department of material science, there is a perfection to be achieved. And to achieve it, one must consult the Vedic literature. The highest perfection is to become a devotee of the Lord. To attain this perfection, one must consult Srimad Bhagavatam, which is understood to be the ripe fruit of the Vedic desire tree, Nikama Kalpa Taror Kalitam Phalam. So, Prabhupada is explaining that to get perfection in any field, we have to refer to the Vedas. The perfect knowledge is given there. So, and the goal, the highest perfection, what's the highest perfection?
To become
Krishna,
a devotee.
become
Become a
devotee.
devotee. And then what do we need to refer to? Which book of knowledge to become a devotee?
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam, Srimad
Srimad
Bhagavatam.
Bhagavatam. Yeah. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So, Graham Karishe Somasya
Graham
Graham
Grahishye
Grahisye
Somasya
Somasya
Yagyevam Apyasomapo
Yagyevam
Yagyevam
Apati
Api
Somapo
Asomapo
Kriyatam Me Vayorupam
Kriyatam
Kriyatam
Me Vayorupam
Vayorupam
Pramadhanam Yad Ipsitam.
Pramadhanam Yata Ipsitam.
Yat
Cyavana Muni said, although you are ineligible to drink somras in sacrifices, I promise to give you a full pot of it. Kindly arrange beauty and youth for me, because they are attractive to young women. So here Chavan Muni is telling Ashwini Kumaras, okay, there'll be an exchange. You make me a young man, because young women like young men. And so he's saying that, okay, you make me young again. And what will I give you in exchange? I will give you somras. Because right now, you're not getting this somras when the sacrifices are happening. You're ineligible. But I will give it to you. Badam iti uchatur vipram
Badham
Adam
iti
iti
Uchatur Vipram
abhinandya bhikshat bhishaktamo
Abhinadya Bishaktamo
nimajjattam bhavan asmin
Nimajjatam
Jatam
Bhavan
Bhavan
Asmi
Asmin
hrade siddha vinirmite.
Hriday Siddha Vinirmite.
The great physicians, the Ashwini Kumaras, very gladly accepted Cyavana Muni's proposal. Thus they told the Brahmana, just dive into this lake of successful life. One who bathes in this lake has his desires fulfilled. So there's a lake, you dip in it, and all the desires will be fulfilled. So Ashwini Kumaras are saying, yeah, okay, we'll make you young, you give us the somras. Harinam Chintamani. The holy name of the Lord is Chintamani. Chintamani turns everything into gold. All the desires can be fulfilled by chanting Hare Krishna.
And the somras is the benefit of the somras is
Somras benefit. I think the demigods, they drink that, right? It's kind of
for
an
Young.
it's kind
for
of
Yeah,
an
eternal.
intoxicant. Huh? I'm sorry?
Is
to
it for
keep them young
eternity?
and energetic. The Somras
Yeah,
is the.
energy.
Actually, we
It
have
is,
heard that if you go at the moon, you get the Somras, right?
yeah, that's right. And it's kind of an intoxicating beverage, but it's not alcohol. I think we read like that.
Hmm.
So the
We read.
demigods, they drink the somras. But
It's
somehow the
not
Ashwini
it's not
Kumaras were
for
not
their
able
life
to
for
drink
eternity, right? Not that. If you drink somras, you can
somras.
be alive for eternity.
You mean eternal life?
Yeah, no,
Mortal.
Okay,
right?
benefits
That is Amrit.
of
That is Amrit,
som.
not
That is
somras, na?
Amrit, not Somras. Somras just keeps them young and, like happy and
Soma
rejuvenating and something like.
plant. You're able to see
But
the
then the
screen?
Ashwini Kumar, they
Okay.
they could give, right?
Okay, here. Are you able to see the screen?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can see the
immortality, right?
Yeah. Immortality,
Immortality.
health, strength, and wisdom was used in rituals and offerings to the gods. Okay, this is what it is. Immortal means live a very long life, healthy, strong, healthy, energetic, good health life, and be very wise.
So didn't the Ashwini Kumars, they were expert, right? They were the physicians who could give, right? Youthful. So
Yeah, but
still, I mean, this isn't it like Somras only, no? Actually,
I did but
did,
it seems Cyavana Muni has the somras,
uh,
or he's able to get it. Kumaras not eligible.
I think if we'll read, then we'll find it out.
maybe
It must
Somras.
be there ahead, written in the
They were
purports or
only
something.
physicians because they were only physicians. That's why
okay.
they were not allowed. That's what's written here. Excluded from drinking somras in sacrifice. The demigods, I think it's the demigods who are drinking, and the Ashwini Kumaras are the physicians of the demigods.
Hmm.
Yeah. So they are the doctors of the demigods. Whereas, okay, let's see if Bhagavatam says something else, but at least that's what was written just now.
Mm, mm.
Okay. Iti ukto jaraya grasta
Iti
Iti
ukto
yukto
charita
jaraya prasta
deho dhamani santata
deho
deho
dhamani
damani
santataha
santata
hridam praveshito shvibhyam
ridam praveshito
praveshito
vishyam
vali palita vigraha.
vali
bali
palita
palita
vigraha.
vigraha.
After saying this, the Ashwini Kumaras got hold of Cyavana Muni, who was an old, diseased invalid with loose skin, white hair, and veins visible all over his body, and all three of them entered the lake. Cyavana Muni was so old that he could not enter the lake alone. Thus, the Ashwini Kumaras caught hold of his body, and the three of them entered the lake. So he's really old, eh? Can't even walk him by himself inside the lake. The Ashwini Kumaras are carrying him, kind of holding his hand and bringing him. And here Sukadev Goswami is giving so much description: old, diseased, invalid, loose skin, white hair, veins visible all over the body. Okay, Purushastraya Utthasthur,
Purushtastrasya utthastur
Hmm.
Api Vyavanita Priya,
api vaya
Divya
vanita
Manita
priyaha
Priya
Padmasraja Kundalinas,
padma sajaha
Padmaja
kundalina
Dalinas
Tulya Rupa Suvasasa.
tulya rupaha
Rupa
suvasaha.
Surasasa.
Thereafter, three men with very beautiful bodily features emerged from the lake. They were nicely dressed and decorated with earrings and garlands of lotuses. All of them were of the same standard of beauty. So Ashwini Kumaras had entered the lake with Chavana Muni, old man, but now he's become young, as beautiful, as them. They are all very beautiful. Tan Nirikshya Vararoha.
Tanirikshya
Nirikshya
vararoha
vararoha
Sarupan Suryavarchasa
Sarupan Suryavarchasaha
Varchasaha
Ajanati Patim Sadhvi
Ajanati Patim Sadhvi
Ashvino Sharanam Yayo.
Ashvino Sharanam Yayo.
The chaste and very beautiful Sukanya could not distinguish her husband from the two Ashwini Kumaras, for they were equally beautiful. Not understanding who her real husband was, she took shelter of the Ashwini Kumaras. So she's confused now. Who is my old husband gone, you know? Here he's looking same like the Ashwini Kumar. Sukanya could have selected any one of them as a husband, for one could not distinguish among them. But because she was chaste, she took shelter of the Ashwini Kumaras, so that they could inform her who her actual husband was. A chaste woman will never accept any man other than her husband, even if there be some equally as handsome and qualified. So we heard earlier also that she was really chaste, and now again we are hearing the same. That okay, she's confused. Who's my husband? So she's asking the Ashwini Kumaras. And I was just thinking if this people had access to the lake right now, you know, just go and no need to color your hair, no need to do Botox, surgeries, no plastic surgeries, no silicone. You just go in the lake. But there's one catch. The Ashwini Kumaras told Cyavana they could make him young because Cyavana could give them the somras. He has that power. Yeah,
Hmm.
right? Otherwise, everybody would be jumping in this lake. Anyway, darshayitva patim tasyai
Darshayitva patim
Darshayitva patim
tasya
pativratyena toshito
Pativrattena toshito
rishim amantriya yayatur
Rishim amantrayayayatu
vimanena trivishtapam.
Vimanena trivishtipam.
Ashwani Kumaras were very pleased to see Sukanya's chastity and faithfulness. Thus they showed her Javanamuni, her husband, and after taking permission from him, they returned to the heavenly planets in their plane. So they are also happy. They're telling her, okay, this is your husband. And they have their own private jets. Yakshamano Sharyatish.
Yakshamanota
Yakshamanotharyati
Saryatish
Yavana Ashramam Gataha.
Chavana
Yavana Ashramam Gataha
Ashramagataha
Darsha Duhitu Parshve.
Dardarsha
Darsha
Duhitu
Duhitu
Pashve
Pashve
Purusham Surya Varchasam.
Purusham
Purusham Surya
Suryavarchasa
Varchasam
Thereafter, King Sharyati, desiring to perform a sacrifice, went to the residence of Chavanamuni. There he saw by the side of his daughter a very beautiful young man, as bright as the sun. So Sharyati wants to do a sacrifice, so he's gone to Chavanamuni. Over there, he's seeing a young man with his daughter. Raja Duhitaram Praha.
Raja
Raja
Duhitaram
Duhitaram
Praha
Praha
Krita Pad Abhivandanam.
Krita
Krita
Padabhivandanam
Padabhivandana
Ashishas Chaprayunjano.
Ashishascha
Ashasya
Prayujano
Nati Priti Mana Iva.
Nati
Nati
Priti Mana
Priti
Iva
Mana Iva
After receiving obeisances from his daughter, the king, instead of offering blessings to her, appeared very displeased and spoke as follows. Chikeshitam te kimidam patistvaya
Chikeshitam
Chikeshitam
te
te
Vikram
kimidam
Patistvaya
patistvaya
प्रलम्बितलोकनमस्कृतो मुनिः
फलं
प्रलम्बितो
कृतो
लोकनमस्कृतो
मुनिः
मुनिः
तत्त्वं जराग्रस्तमसति असम्मतम्
यत्त्वं
यत्त्वं
जराग्रस्तं
जराग्रस्तम्
सति
असति
असम्मतम्
असम्मतम्
विहाय जारां भजसे मुम् अद्भगम्
विहाय
विहाय
जारं भजसे
भजसे
अमुम्
मुमद्भकम्
Oh, unchaste girl, what is this that you have desired to do? You have cheated the most respectable husband, who is honored by everyone. For I see that because he was old, diseased, and therefore unattractive, you have left his company to accept as your husband this young man who appears to be a beggar from the street. This shows the values of Vedic culture. According to the circumstances, Sukanya had been given a husband who was too old to be compatible with her. So this is Vedic times, we may not be even able to relate to it now. Kali Yuga, it's very different. So that's why Prabhupada is saying this is Vedic culture was like this. The circumstances happened such that Sukanya, although she was a young girl, she had gotten married to Cyavana Muni, was old. Because Cyavana Muni was diseased and very old, he was certainly unfit for the beautiful daughter of King Shariati. Nonetheless, her father expected her to be faithful to her husband. When he suddenly saw that his daughter had accepted someone else, even though the man was young and handsome, he immediately chastised her as asati, unchaste, because he assumed that she had accepted another man in the presence of her husband. So the king is thinking, oh my God, my daughter has left the old Chavana Muni for this young man. So according to Vedic culture, even if a young woman is given an old husband, she must respectfully serve him. This is chastity. It is not that because she dislikes her husband, she may give him up and accept another. This is against Vedic culture. So we can see that Sukanya, she's following the Vedic culture, and that's how we are reading about her here in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, according to Vedic culture, a woman must accept the husband given to her by her parents and remain chaste and faithful to him. Therefore, King Shariati was surprised to see a young man by the side of Sukanya. Any comments? Continue to read. Okay. Katham matiste vagatanyatha satam
कथं
कथं
कथं मतिस्ते
वदता
भगतान्यथा
वदन्यथास्ति
सुतां
kulaprasute kuladushanam tva idam
कुलप्रसूते
कुलप्रसूते
कुलभूषणं तु
कुलभूषणं
इदम्
इदं
कुलभूषणम्
Varsi jaram yad atrapakulam
बिभर्षि जारं
विभर्षिजारं
यद्
यत्
अत्र पाकुलम्
अप्रपाकुलं
pitus cha bhartus chanyasya
पितुः च भर्तुः
तुश्चनयाश अधतमा
O my daughter, who were born in a respectable family, how you have degraded your consciousness in this way? How is it that you're shamelessly maintaining a paramour? You will thus degrade the dynasties of both your father and your husband to hellish life. Because she's, after all, the granddaughter of Vyavasta Manu, right? She's the daughter of Shariati. Shariati is the son of Manu. And this is Chavana Muni that she was married to, or she is married to. It is quite clear that according to Vedic culture, a woman who accepts a paramour or second husband in the presence of the husband she has married is certainly responsible. for the degradation of her father's family and the family of her husband. The rules of Vedic culture in this regard are strictly observed in the respectable families of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. Even today, only the Shudras are degraded in this matter. For a woman of the Brahmana, Kshatriya, or Vaishya class to accept another husband in the presence of the husband she has married, or to file for divorce, or to accept a boyfriend or paramour is unacceptable in the Vedic culture. Therefore, King Shariati, who did not know the real facts of Cyavana Muni's transformation, was surprised to see the behavior of his daughter. Did anyone want to add anything?
I hope she doesn't get cursed.
Let's read on. Yeah, let's read on. Evam Bruvanam Pitaram
Evam
Evam Bruvanam
Bruvanam
Pitaram
Smayamana Shuchi Smita
Smayamana
Samayana
Suchismita
Smita
Uvacha Tat Jamata
Uvacha
Uvacha Tata
Yamata
Jamata
Tavesha Bhrigunandana.
Tavesham
Tavesha
Nandana.
Bhrigunandana
Bhrigunandana.
Sukanyā, however, being very proud of her chastity, smiled upon hearing the rebukes of her father. She smilingly told him, "My dear father, this young man by my side is your actual son-in-law, the great sage Cyavana, who was born in the family of Bhrigu." Although the father chastised the daughter, assuming that she had accepted another husband, the daughter knew that she was completely honest and chaste, and therefore she was smiling. When she explained that her husband Cyavana had now been transformed into a young man, she was very proud of her chastity, and thus she smiled as she talked with her father. Shashamsa Pitre Tatsarvam
Sasamshapre
Samsapite Tatsarvam
Tatsarvam
Vayorupabhilambanam
Vayorupa Abhilambanam
Vayorambanam
Vismita Parama Pritas
Vismita
Vishmita
Paramapita
Paramapitas
Paramapitas
Tanayam Parishasvaje.
Tanayam
Tanayam
Parishasvate.
Parishasasvaje
Thus Sukanya explained how her husband had received the beautiful body of a young man. When the king heard this, he was very surprised, and in great pleasure he embraced his beloved daughter. Somena Yajayan Viram
Somena Yajayan
Somayajyan
Viram
Viram
Graham Somasya Chagrahit.
Graham
Graham
Somasya
Somasya Chagrahit
Chagrahit
Asoma Por Api Ashvinosh
Asoma
Asoma
Pori
Por
Api
Ashvinos
Ashvino
Ashvinos
Chavana Svena Tejasa.
Chavana
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 Svena
Tejasa.
Tejasa
Tejasa
Chavanamuni, by his own prowess, enabled King Shariati to perform the Soma Yagya. The Muni offered a full pot of somras to the Ashwini Kumaras, although they were unfit to drink it. So it seems they were not allowed to drink the somras, as we just read, that they were physicians, and it's only the demigods that who were allowed to drink. But Chavana Muni had promised them, and by his own prowess is powerful enough to give them. Hantum tam adate vajram
Hantum sa adate
Adadivajram
vajram
sadyo manyur amarshita
Sadyam
Satyam Manyor Apsita
Manyuramashtaha
savajram stambhayam asa
Savajram
Tavajram
Ram
Satsambhayam
Stambhayam
Stambhayam
Asa
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 bhujam indrasya bhargavaha.
Bhujam
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 Indrasya
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 Bhargava
Bhargava
Bhargavaha
King Indra, being perturbed and angry, wanted to kill Javanamuni, and therefore he impetuously took up his thunderbolt. But Cyavana Muni, by his powers, paralyzed Indra's arm that held the thunderbolt. So Lord Indra is angry. How come you're giving them somras? I'm gonna kill you. And Cyavana Muni, very powerful, huh? Is
Because he
paralyzed.
got his youth right back.
Yeah, but this is not a
Yeah,
question only of being a young man. This is because he has mystic powers.
he has mystic powers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because of his mystic powers. He's a great Muni, right? So
Hmm.
he has a lot of mystic powers. That's how he's able to do this. Anvajanam tata sarve
Anvajanam
Tata
tata sarve
graham somasya chashvino
graham
Graham
somasya
Somasya Chashvino
chashvino
vishajav iti yat purvam
Vishwachau iti Yat Purvam
vapurvam
soma ahutya bahiskrito.
soma
Soma
ahutya
Ahutya Bahiskrito.
Although the Ashwini Kumaras were only physicians and were therefore excluded from drinking somras in sacrifices, the demigods agreed to allow them henceforward to drink it. So after this incident, the demigods are like, okay, Ashwini Kumaras, from now on you can drink the somras. As Riya also is mentioned, they were only physicians. That's why they couldn't drink. Ut ana barhir anarto
utana
Uttana
bahir
Ahir
anarto
Anarto
burishena iti traya
purishena
Vishena
iti
Iti
trayaha
Traya
sharyatir abhavan putra
Sharyatir abhavan putra
anartadrevato bhavat.
Anartatrevato
anarthato
Bhava
bhavat
Tum
King, King Sharyati begot three sons named Uttanabarhi, Anartha, and Burishena. From Anartha came a son named Revata. So continuing with the lineage, that was his story about his wife, his daughter, Sukanyā. And also he has three sons. Did anyone have anything to add? Any comments?
No,
Okay,
until
then
now.
let's. Okay, so we read some more. So anta samudre nagarim
So
so
antah
anta
samudre
samudre
nagarim
nagarim
vinirmaya kushasthalim
vinirmaya
vinirmaya
kushastalim
kushasthalim
astito bhungta vishayan
astito
astito
bhumta
bhunta
vishayan
vichayan
anartadin arindama
anarthadin
anarthadin
arindama
arindama
tasya putra shatam jagye
tasya
tasya
putra
putra
shatam
shatam
jagye
kakudmi jeshtam uttamam.
kakubmi jeshtam uttamam.
O Maharaj Parikshit, subduer of enemies, this Revata constructed a kingdom known as Kushasthali in the depths of the ocean. There he lived and ruled such tracts of land as Anartha, etc. He had 100 very nice sons, of whom the eldest was Kakudmi. So now we are hearing of the sons of Sharyati, and especially the son now. Uh, what's the son's name of Sharyati?
Revata
Revata. And where was he living?
inside the ocean in the
Ye-
Kushasthali land
Yeah,
kingdom.
yeah. And he's ruling over there. And he had 100 very nice sons. And the eldest son's name is mentioned as
kakudmi
Kukudmi.
Kakudmi.
Kukudmi.
So Revata is King Sharyati's, is it?
Yeah,
Son.
Sharyati's son.
Okay.
That's right. Sharyati's son, Revata, he's living under the ocean, has a kingdom there, and he has 100 sons now. And his eldest son is called Kakudmi. Kakudmi Revatim Kanyam
Kakudmi Revatim Kanya
Swam Adaya Vibhum Gata
Swam Adaya Vibhum Gataha
Putriya Varam Pariprashtum
Putriya Varam
Putra Varam
Pariprashtum
Parimashtum
Brahma Lokam Apavratam.
Brahma
Brahmalokam Apravritam.
Taking his own daughter Revati, Kakudmi went to Lord Brahma in Brahmalok, which is transcendental to the three modes of material nature, and inquired about a husband for her. So Kakudmi, we heard he's the grandson of,
Devasvat
oh my,
Manu.
no,
Sharyati.
Kakudmi is,
Sharyati.
yeah, that's right. He's Revata's son. So he's the grandson of Sharyati, so great grandson of Vevasmanu. And he's going to Lord Brahma. He's taken his daughter Revati to Lord Brahma to search for a husband. He wants. So it appears that Brahmalok, the abode of Lord Brahma, is also transcendental, above the three modes of material nature. Apa avratam. Well, here Sukadev Goswami is saying that Brahmalok is transcendental to three modes of material nature. But we hear in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Brahma Bhuvana Loka. That from Lord Brahma to all the, all the other planets or places of misery, temporary places of misery. So certainly, of course, Lord Brahma, the Brahma Lok is certainly, doesn't have like passion and ignorance like we see it here, right, in the earthly planets. It's going to be like really, really in the mode of goodness. So now he's taken Revati there to ask Lord Brahma. Let's read one more. Avartamane Gandharve
Avartamani Gandharve
Stito Labda Shana Shanam
Sthito
Sthito
Labdha
Labda
Shanaha Shanam
Shanam
Ad Anta Adyam Anamya
Tad Anta
Anta
Adyam
Adya
Anabhya
Swa Abhiprayam Nyavedayat.
Swa Abhiprayam Nyavidayat.
When Kakudmi arrived there, Lord Brahma was engaged in hearing musical performances by the Gandharvas and had not a moment to talk with him. Therefore, Kakudmi waited, and at the end of the musical performances, he offered his obeisances to Lord Brahma and thus submitted his long-standing desire. So Lord Brahma is busy. He's watching some performance. So that's why Kakudmi and Revati are waiting there. And then after Lord Brahma is finished, then he's offering obeisances to Lord Brahma. And he's telling Lord Brahma why he's come. He wants to find a suitable husband for his daughter. We'll stop here.
Yeah, and this is very, very interesting. Like how that,
Interesting, right?
yeah.
And then we are
Oh
going
my
to
God.
hear that, this
Yeah,
time,
I
how
don't want
long
to
it's
say,
going to
want to
take,
disclose. Yeah, I don't want to disclose. We'll hear it because it's
Yeah,
really interesting. It's very, very
that's
interesting.
right, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how, like,
So,
we have been hearing, now I feel that all these stories we have been hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, we have heard, we know all these stories, but it's how the connection is there. Like I never knew that. The connection. Like
yeah,
how they all are
yeah,
the Vivasvat Manu sons and how these stories are being placed in that order, that how in the Manu lineage these stories are coming. So now
Yeah,
it's
true.
easy to remember them, like at least for now, because we are reading it.
Yeah.
So now it will be quite fresh, because now we know that how they are all great, great personalities from the Vivasvat Manu's dynasty. They're coming in this lineage.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Actually, how many more in this pastime? How many
There
more
are
texts are there
there is just
in
maybe 36. We are on 31. So it's a
31?
small, like if you want, you can finish this.
Depends if you
Like,
all have the time. Actually, I can't read for the next 2 days, you know.
so if everybody is okay, then we can just finish, because there are six more. So at least we'll
Up
finish
to
this one.
y'all. Up to y'all.
Is
Y'all
it
tell
okay with
me.
all?
But
Just
is it
maybe 10
long?
more minutes. 10 more minutes, maybe.
Oh, I
Because there
won't
is
be
no
able.
purport. None of them have purport. They're just the translations. Yeah.
Oh, no
Very,
problem.
very small ones.
Oh, Hare Krishna. I won't be able.
Okay, then we'll stop here.
Okay,
We'll
then
read
we'll
it
stop.
then on Saturday. Yeah, we'll stop here. Srimad
Okay.
Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
Jai,
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur
Jai.
Bhakta Vrinda ki jai,
Jai.
Hare
Jai.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. So let's chant.
Yeah, we'll say the Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Okay.